Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Red Series for 170. I think this is update number 7 or 8. Apologies, it's been a while since I've done one. Been mega busy at home. Back on the birth of a new baby, 2 weeks old, yesterday. So I absolutely delighted he's been taking up all my time. But this afternoon I've managed to get myself away for an hour and mess around with my tank, make a few adjustments, do some water testing and stuff, and just to give you guys a quick update. So yeah, everything's looking really good since the last update. I think it was probably about a month ago. No new livestock, nothing much changed there. Seen some really good growth in these corals. These mushrooms have moved up into the top left. They were down on the bottom here. They've just exploded. It's like as if I've moved them up to some higher flow and more light. They just absolutely opened up like I've never seen them before. This Duncan coral starting to grow a third head. It's around the other side of the main head there. He was tiny when I bought it. He's probably been in the tank now a good 6 weeks and seems to be loving the little less bit of flow it seems to be getting on that side of the tank. So really looking forward to seeing that grow. Same for this favia down here. Keeps growing, but somehow it seems to be breaking it every time I try and it's now put it onto the rock, but originally it was just resting on the shelf. When I was cleaning the tank, it kept moving, it kept breaking, so it should actually be a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, hopefully now it's put it in, it'll really grow and take to that rock and encrust it like I wanted to. Fish are doing really well. There's all 5 of them out. The peacock wrasse, beautiful fish, definitely my favourite in the tank. Growing, eating everything. He's now on dried food, which is really good. I think once you've got these fish on that type of food, they're just as easy as every other fish. There's a real myth that they're very difficult to look after in the aquarium, and I buy that. I think they are quite hard to establish, and if you can get them feeding, I think they're as easy a wrasse as any other. Other wrasse in this tank, this yellow wrasse, again, it's taking everything. Mysis, brine shrimp, pellets. Notoriously, I don't think is known to be as difficult as the peacock wrasse, but again, you know, no problems with him. He's fine. There was a little bit of aggression with him in the peacock wrasse when he first went in, but that's all died down now, and they get on just fine. 2 clowns, growing as ever, greedy as ever. Literally eat anything in the tank. They get on really well. The longest staying in the tank, been in there a year and a half now. And the Royal Grammar, who has now gone back into his little hole, just as I wanted to film him. Quite typical. Is he going to come back out? No, I don't think so. And there's the bloodfire shrimp. And there is obviously a cleaner shrimp in there somewhere. Too sure where he is, probably hiding in the back. This is kind of like the top of the tank. I've got like a bit of a shelf I've built on here now. I've got the zoas and the mushroom and the leather coral. I want to add a few more on there and really cover that rock right underneath the light. I'll get a nice some LPS up there as well, and then just allow these mushrooms to kind of grow at the bottom part of the tank. That one there started off as one head, just seems to be going absolutely mental now with the growth. Did have a small break out of green hair algae. Still bits of it on the rock. Nothing, you know, that was controllable. The one kind of turtle snail is just about keeping it all in check. I am going to add another half a dozen snails if I can. I don't know what really brought that on, really. I think I discontinued my GFO, probably getting on 2 months now, running this tank purely off no-pox. And I just think it's took a while for the no-pox to kind of get working on the phosphates, albeit I had my phosphate checked at my local LFS in 2 weeks, and apparently she said they were reading 0. However, I'm not too sure whether that was right. I refuse to believe there's 0 phosphate in the aquarium. But nevertheless, that doesn't seem to get any worse than obviously just like a millimetre in hair length, really. I've just reduced the hours on the lighting now. It's down to 7 hours, comes on at midday, goes off at 7. But I would like to bring that back to about 9 hours when I can, when that hair algae dies off. But I've got the no-pox dialed in right now. got me nitrate steady at 0.5 ppm, and I'm dosing 0.2 of a mil every day. This big unsightly power head looking to go soon, as of the 2 at the back, or 3 power heads on this tank. Don't really like that big grey thing there. It's only a temporary fix just to have more flow. The plan is to add a max spec Jaya 130 into this tank in the coming months, and maybe that one pump on its own should be sufficient to get the correct water flow in this tank, rather than 3 smaller pumps. And I'm going to obviously try and get that in the tank somewhere where it's not particularly seen, and hopefully then the aesthetics of the tank will look really, really good. Not much change in the sump, again got it really simple. Still the same skimmer, still the same reactor, changing out the carbon roughly every 4 or 5 weeks, and then obviously using the epox there to control the nitrates and phosphates. So again, you know, you see all these people with fancy kit, different denitrate reactors and biopellets. Honestly, you don't need it. Just a decent skimmer, bit of carbon, bit of epox, and you'll keep your levels low. I'm doing a 5% water change every week on this tank, and I'm not doing it to kind of, you know, control nutrients. The 5% wouldn't cut it. It's purely just to replenish trace elements, albeit I'm not even convinced I'm even using trace elements. I suppose it's just peace of mind that, you know, I'm doing a water change once a week, just a bit of fresh water in there. Corals seem to like it, they react to it quite well. And yeah, you know, I like to keep on top of it. I like to think the tank's fairly clean and tidy. You know, I'm usually doing something on it every day. The glass is usually cleaned at least every day. Got this new flipper, algae scraper, absolutely brilliant. 20 quid for a nano one. I think they go to about 40 quid for a bigger one, but they're brilliant. I didn't realise how clean my glass could have actually been before I used this. But yeah, I recommend getting one of them. Keep your glass really tidy. I thought my glass was clean just using a normal scraper, until I bought this. It really was taking off like see-through film, I think was probably which was the Mopox was causing. But yeah, there's 2 pumps at the back. I was talking about the little fluval nano pumps are not great. Those 2 on their own just simply weren't cutting the flow in here. So I added that big old return pump. It looks horrible, just stuck there. But now it's giving me all a nice flow at the top. But like I said, a max spec Jaya to replace that grey pump, and obviously get rid of these 2 black ones as well. Should give me the flow I'm after in the tank. But that's it, guys. Yeah, just a little quick update for you. No change. Now, I said in a few videos ago I was tempted with more livestock, I have to say. I probably am tempted with one more fish, although I'm not sure yet. Wouldn't mind something like a tail spot blenny, or I could risk it and maybe go for a dwarf angel, but don't know whether this tank might be a little bit too small, even though some of the books and literature have been reading saying that some of the dwarf angels can go in a tank this size. I possibly have my reservations, so I'm going to do a bit more research. But in the meantime, there's nothing going to go in for now. Hope you like the tank. I certainly do. It costs me a lot, as we all well know. They're not a cheap hobby, but very well rewarding, especially when your tank is all seems to be going well and you've got no algae issues and things aren't dying. They really are a pleasure to have and look after. And I spend my evenings sat on that chair there, looking into the tank, and yeah, really enjoy it. But okay, guys, yeah, hope you like the video, and I will do another one in probably another 3 or 4 weeks with hopefully maybe something new on the tank, i.e. a max spec Jaya to show you, and I will review it and let you know how it gets on and performs in a tank this size. Okay, cheers.